Chapter 1. After Chrysalis's death, Equestria was in deep shock. No pony knew how she died, but everyone had their suspicions it was Tyrek. Tyrek was immediately sent to the Canterlot prison, and for a couple of years Equestria remained in harmony until Tyrek escaped. 2 years later. Now come on Pandora, you are hardly being fair, daddy needs attention too with mummy as well, so stop crying. Discord was pleading with his 2-year-old daughter who was crying her head off. Fluttershy, Fluttershy. It was pandemonium in Fluttershy's house, chairs were flying everywhere, dishes were slamming to the ground, and for some reason Fluttershy was in her own world, blocking out the noises of chaos. Oh sorry Discord, I was in my own world for a second, oh my goodness, look at all the mess. Discord, was this you? Discord stood up and crossed his arms and had puppy eyes and said, what, me? Oh Fluttershy, it was not me, I mean oh look at there, Princess Celestia is coming, better go out and see what she wants. Fluttershy stopped Discord with her hoof and said, no Discord, I will go and greet my mother, you on the other hand will clear this mess up and sort Pandoran out, and with that she was gone. Fluttershy walked to the door and she suddenly felt something sharp in her mouth, her teeth were very sharp. Fluttershy thought no more of the matter and opened to the door with a worried Celestia standing there. Hello Fluttershy, can I come in? There is something I have to tell you. Fluttershy warned her mother of the chaos in her house, but when they went back into the house it was spotless and Pandora was fast asleep. Discord, Fluttershy and Celestia sat down. So Fluttershy, my dearest, as you are well aware, Tyrek was put in prison a couple of years back, but unfortunately he has managed to escape and there is someone who he will try and contact. His mother? Discord said. Celestia ignored this. Oh my goodness, what will we do? Fluttershy worriedly said. Fluttershy, I have to tell you something, Tyrek will come for you, but we will have to allow this, as through you we can stop him. Discord shouted. Hang on a minute, he is not taking my wife anywhere. Fluttershy said, why will he come for me? Why am I so important to him? Celestia said with a look of guilt, because Tyrek is your father. Discord spat out his chocolate milk he was drinking and said, you mean my wife is the daughter of that hideous monster? That means she is half pony and God knows what the other half is. Celestia said, I will discuss this later in more depth, but I warn you Fluttershy that we need to keep a close eye on you, as we need to be ready for Tyrek and Discord. Just to let you know, I know it was you. There was silence in the room. Chapter 2. So let me get this clear, Fluttershy, you are the daughter of Tyrek? Yes, I am afraid so, Discord, but just because he is evil and ruthless does not mean I am. Discord thought for a minute. He had been through so much, Chrysalis' death, now this. Fluttershy, I know your mother wanted him to find you, but I am your husband and I really do think you should be hiding from him, not letting him come and take you like a parcel. Fluttershy held back a giggle and walked over to Discord and said, I must go and find him, as if he came here Pandora and yourself would be in danger and I would rather die than let my family get hurt. That is exactly my point, dear, if you go that is exactly what will happen. Fluttershy stood up and said, then what is the other alternative, Discord? Discord said nothing. I have to go. 2 days later. Fluttershy kissed her husband and baby and left her cottage and started hunting down her father. After 2 hours of searching, Fluttershy was about to give up when suddenly a shadow of a goat-like creature stood before her. Why, my darling girl, I have to say when I found out you were my child I was strangely happy. Fluttershy looked up worriedly and whispered, Tyrek. Tyrek glanced down and said, Fluttershy, do not call me Tyrek, you shall call me father, but never mind about that. Tyrek grinned evilly and laughed. Fluttershy suddenly had a huge worry come over her. She should leave now, but something was stopping her. Fluttershy still had a sore mouth where her teeth were growing longer. Fluttershy, look into my eyes, dear, you know you want to. Fluttershy suddenly felt forced to look at him and then all became dark. Fluttershy was under Tyrek's power. You Fluttershy will become evil like me, we will rule together bringing evil to the world. Fluttershy woke up no longer kind but evil. Fluttershy opened her eyes and gave out an evil laugh. Tyrek and Fluttershy walked together towards Canterlot Castle. The whole of Equestria was now in danger. Chapter 3. I am going to say this one more time, Celestia. Where is my wife? Celestia jumped back with the force of Discord's shouting. Fluttershy is with her father. Discord, whereabouts she is, your guess is as good as mine. Discord walked towards Celestia while holding Pandora. This is all your fault. You told Fluttershy to leave her husband and her preschool daughter to go and talk to that monster. Well, I am done with it. I am going to bring back my wife, and after that I will bring you down and put Fluttershy on the throne, as every pony will hate you after they find out what you did to your daughter. With that, Discord took Pandora and started his long and tedious search for Fluttershy. Fluttershy, my darling, wherever you are I will find you and personally deal with Tyrak myself, just like I did with Queen Chrysalis. Pandora looked up at her father and grinned. Pandora more than anything wanted to become like her father when she was older, as she felt so proud of him trying to hunt down her mother. I love you, Daddy, said Pandora. Discord turned to his daughter and said, well, I love you even more. Discord and Pandora continued their search, unaware of the dangers they faced, unaware that Fluttershy was closer than they thought. Chapter 4. Fluttershy looked at the chaos in front of her and smiled at what she had achieved within a couple of hours with Tyrak. See what you can do when you are pointed in the right direction, Fluttershy. If you can cause people running from their homes in a couple of hours, imagine in a couple of months' time. Tyrak and Fluttershy both outburst into an evil laugh and walked towards Canterlot Castle, but before they could reach the castle, two figures appeared in front of them. A baby and father. Fluttershy, there you are, my darling. What have you done to my wife, you bastard? You better not have hurt her. Discord looked up at Tyrak, and if looks could kill. Oh, Discord darling, do not be worried, I am fine. Look at the misery I have caused with my father. I have finally discovered my real self and have got rid of Do Anything, and she will not complain. Fluttershy. Discord, we may be married, but that can come to an end very quickly. Tyrak and Fluttershy once again laughed, but Discord was far from crying. He was nearly broken down into tears, but he knew his Fluttershy loved him. Pandora looked up at her mother and sensed that something bad was happening and began to cry. Fluttershy looked down and suddenly Tyrak's spell was broken and good Fluttershy was back. Oh, Discord, Pandora, how did you know it was not me who was speaking? Discord looked up and said, it was Pandora who knew, and I myself thought that you would never stop loving me. Tyrak rolled his eyes and said, this ridiculous sentiment of yours is sickening. Today you were lucky, but next time I will be ready for you, you mark my words. Discord walked up to Tyrak and whispered, if you dare come near my child or wife again, you would have wished you would have ended up the same way as your wife, Queen Chrysalis. Tyrak spitefully replied, fault with, and you would know all about that, wouldn't you, Discord? Discord turned away, walking back to the cottage with his daughter and wife. Discord, what did Tyrak mean by that comment? Discord looked down at Fluttershy, looked Fluttershy straight in the face and lied to her by saying, I have no idea. Fluttershy then hugged Discord, and Discord replied by giving Fluttershy a long passionate kiss. We both have missed you, Fluttershy. Fluttershy smiled, showing a long white tooth in her mouth. Chapter 5. 1 year later. Since we were last in Ponyville, Pandora can now fully talk, and Twilight Sparkle has got married to a stallion called Prince Hades. Everything seems to be normal. Too normal. Happy birthday, my darling Fluttershy. Discord walked into the room carrying a birthday cake with a look of achievement on his face, as it had taken hours to prepare this cake. Discord places the cake in front of Fluttershy and Pandora, and Fluttershy's face goes a shade of green. Oh, Discord, it looks delicious, but I feel a bit sick at the moment. Can I eat it later? Discord suddenly looks furious and shouts out, oh, don't worry, it only took me like hours to make, you know. Put it in the bin if you do not like it. Fluttershy got up and ran to the bathroom. Discord scratched his head and said to Pandora, what on earth is wrong with her? Oh well, Daddy will be back in a minute, just checking on Fluttershy. Discord walked into the bathroom and saw Fluttershy crying next to their sink. Oh my darling, what is the matter? I did not mean to make you upset. Fluttershy looked around and said, oh no, Discord, it is fine, I mean it's normal for me to be emotional at the moment. Discord looked up at Fluttershy and said, what do you mean? Fluttershy replied with Discord, I'm pregnant. Chapter 6. That's so exciting, you're going to have a cute baby foal! Shouted Pinkie Pie. Yeah, great, now there will be 2 chaotic children in the world, said Rainbow Dash. A look of anger appeared on Discord's face and he quickly turned to Rainbow Dash and said quietly, "What exactly are you implying, Dashy?" Rainbow Dash then had a repulsive look on her face and shouted, "Don't call me Dashy, and it's not like anyone doesn't know that Pandora is a strange half-breed pony. I mean, do we want another pony like that?" Discord flipped over the table in anger and took Rainbow Dash and held her up to his height. "Please don't be angry, Discord. I'm sure Rainbow Dash did not mean it." "Of course she meant it. How dare you call my daughter an abnormal child? I know she is a little different, but so is everyone. I thought all of you were the elements of harmony and friendship, but obviously not. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves, but no." Discord stopped and looked over to his crying wife Fluttershy and his daughter Pandora, who was looking straight at him with the most evil grin he had ever seen, and this gave him an idea. "You know what, Dashy, I think you should leave. In fact, all of you should go, now." All the ponies left in a hurry, leaving Discord's wife and child. Unbelievable, can you imagine the cheek of some ponies? Discord went over to Fluttershy and gave her a kiss. "Don't cry, Fluttershy, Discord will sort it all out just like how I sorted the problem out with Queen Chrysalis." Pandora grinned, knowing exactly what her father meant and how one day she would want to be exactly like her daddy Discord. Chapter 7. "Oh Fluttershy, she is beautiful, she definitely looks more like me." Fluttershy and Discord looked at their newborn filly, who was sleeping peacefully in Discord's arms. "The question is, darling, what do we call her?" Fluttershy looked up at Discord and said, "You decide, Discord, you're better at deciding names than me." Discord replied forthwith, "Don't be silly, darling, you're wonderful at choosing names, but if you insist I choose then." Pandora at the same time walked into the room, took one look at the new baby and shouted, "Athena. I guess that answers it, doesn't it, Pandora? Pandora, come and meet your baby sister Athena." Discord put Athena down in her cot and then lifted Pandora up to see her. Pandora looked at Athena and her face dropped, and in a quiet voice she said, "I hate you." Chapter 8. "Fluttershy, I am going out for a while, will be back in an hour. I am bringing the foals with me." And with that, Discord was gone. Fluttershy sat down on her chair and for the first time in a long time relaxed. Suddenly the door crashed open, revealing King Sombra. "Fluttershy, it has been a while. How are you?" Fluttershy felt fear all over her, but for some reason this was followed by a different feeling. "Hello, King." King Sombra interrupted by saying, "No, my dear, just call me Sombra." King Sombra walked over to Fluttershy and sat down next to her. Fluttershy felt uncomfortable. She knew this was wrong, but it felt so right. Sombra, you better go. Discord will be back any minute, and if he finds you here, oh please go. It's been lovely to see you." King Sombra put his hoof on Fluttershy's face and kissed it passionately. "Please, Fluttershy, come with me back to the Crystal Empire and be my queen." Fluttershy looked angry and shouted, "Sombra, I am married and am a mother. You need to leave now." Fluttershy was not the sort of person to shout. King Sombra looked down and said, "Fluttershy, I wish you had not married that old man. You could have been with me and been happy. I mean, are you really happy living in a tree?" Fluttershy shoved Sombra off the sofa and said, "Yes, I am very happy with my husband and my two beautiful children. I would never leave my husband. I love him too much. Just please go." King Sombra leapt forward and once again passionately kissed Fluttershy, and at that same time Discord walked in with the two foals. "What is going on here?" Fluttershy turned round to see Discord standing there. Chapter 9. "Fluttershy, what do you think you are doing?" cried Discord. Fluttershy quickly turned around and said, "Discord, it's not what you think. I was just sitting down for a minute." And King Sombra. Discord interrupted by saying, "He took advantage of you, my wife, the mother of my children." Will Sombra prepare to meet the the Lord of Chaos? King Sombra just laughed and said, "Why, what are you going to do? Hit me with your powers of chocolate milk making." Discord frowned and walked over to King Sombra and said, "No, prepared to be hit by the powers of my fist." With that, Discord punched King Sombra so hard he fell right over. King Sombra eventually got up with a rather sore face and said, "You might have all the glory now, but mark my words, Discord, very soon you will have what has always been coming to you." King Sombra disappeared, leaving Discord and a crying Fluttershy behind. "There, that's him gone," said Discord. Fluttershy said, Discord, I am so sorry, I promise you I don't like Sombra, I love you, he forced me to kiss him. Discord. Discord walked over and picked Fluttershy up and kissed her. I know, my dearest Fluttershy, do not worry about him anymore. If he has any sense he will not trouble the house of Discord anymore. Fluttershy suddenly collapsed, and when she woke up she was on the sofa with a worried Discord leaning over her. Fluttershy, are you alright, my dear? Fluttershy saw a blurred Discord over her and she replied with yes. Discord, how long was I out? Discord said, only about 5 minutes, but that is not the point, we need to take you to a doctor, you look terrible. Fluttershy sat up properly on the sofa and said, no, I do not need to go to the doctor. Discord, I know what exactly is wrong with me because Discord, I am pregnant. Discord collapsed and awoke again about 10 minutes later, where this time Fluttershy had him laying on the sofa. Oh Fluttershy, did I have a strange dream? I dreamed you told me you were pregnant. I mean, how ridiculous is that? We already have 2 children, I mean 3. Fluttershy looked down and said, Discord, it was not a dream, I am going to have another baby. Discord smiled and said, guess I am going to have to get used to having a big family. Hey Fluttershy, especially if they are all like you. Fluttershy smiled and both she and Discord broke into a passionate kiss. Chapter 10 Part 1. Fluttershy woke up in the morning in her cottage just as Equestria was starting to get light. Fluttershy felt strange, she had a terrible pain in her chest and felt very sick. Fluttershy got up, leaving Discord fast asleep, and went out the cottage, softly closing the door behind her, where she carried on to the forbidden forest. She made her way quickly into the familiar clearing where Zekara's cottage was tucked away. Zekara's door was open as if she was already expecting a visit from Fluttershy. Fluttershy went in, and over in one corner a green light flooded upwards over the walls, and standing to one side in the shadows was the familiar figure of Zekara, surrounded by half-empty jars. I knew you would come sooner or later, said Zekara. It's nothing like you felt before, is it Fluttershy? You can sense the difference. Fluttershy nodded slowly and sat down at the wooden table and buried her head in her hooves. Zekara gently made her way towards Fluttershy and drew up the other chair next to her. It's alright Fluttershy, I can give you something to make you feel better, although you must understand it will only work in the short term. You know that your troubles will really start afterwards. Have you told Discord how you are feeling? Fluttershy looked up and said, I can't tell him, Zekara, he seems so worried and stressed lately. I did not want to add to his problems. This should be very straightforward for me. I have had 2 falls already. I should not be making such a fuss about this one, but I just feel so strange. Zekara got up and went towards her huge cauldron where the green light was glowing. She took a wooden ladle of the table next to the cauldron and sank it deep into the cauldron, swirling it round and chanting. She pulled out the ladle where green luminous trickled down the sides and poured it into a silver goblet. She made her way back over to Fluttershy and handed her the goblet, saying, it's best to drink it down in one go. Fluttershy grabbed the goblet with both hooves, held it up and swallowed it, gulping the green liquid down as if her life depended on it. When she had finished, she put the goblet on the table and looked up at Zekara. You've done the right thing by coming here, said Zekara. If you need me, sorry I should say, when you need me you know where to find me, because you will need help, Fluttershy, when the time comes. Fluttershy got up slowly with still a foul taste in her mouth and walked towards the door. Turning slightly, she said, thank you Zekara, and walked out. Zekara was left standing there with a worried expression. She knew that her magic could only do so much. She also knew that there was only one person who could really make a difference, but doubted if they would ever want to. Chapter 10 Part 2. 9 months later. It was one of those wintry days where it was so cold you could see your breath. Snow fell in swirls and all the sensible ponies were at home in front of the fire. It was this day that a lonely figure with black and white hair was seen making her way against the wind and snow to Fluttershy's cottage. She knocked on the door and it was flung open by Discord, who shouted in her face, where have you been? We have been waiting for you. Zekara took no notice and barged Discord out of the way, mumbling unintelligible words under her breath. She went straight up the stairs and disappeared into Fluttershy's room. Meanwhile, Discord was left to cope with the 2 children who had been playing up all morning and were now very bored indeed. They passed the time by pulling Discord's goatee beard that was driving him up the wall literally. He tried to disappear once or twice, but the children made such a racket that he feared the house would fall down, so that didn't really work. Eventually he decided to take them both to visit Pinkie Pie, who always knew how to entertain unruly children. Zechariah and Fluttershy were left alone. When Discord returned around tea time with two very dirty and very hungry foals, there was silence in the cottage. Discord told the children not to move, bribing them with lots of chocolate milk to keep them quiet, and he ventured upstairs. He softly knocked on the bedroom door and Zechariah opened it, saying, "It's time to come in, Discord, it's all over, you have a beautiful baby boy." Fluttershy was laying in bed looking more beautiful than ever, and in her arms was a white bundle. Discord moved over to the bed, kissed Fluttershy and moved the blanket back to take a first look at his son. Discord did not move, he was rooted to the spot. Fluttershy had never seen such a look of horror on his face. Discord looked down at the foal, except it was not a foal, it was the very image of Discord. There was the protruding antler horn, there was the bat wing. As he opened the blanket there was the dragon leg. He looked at Fluttershy, he seemed more angry to her than she had ever seen him. Unable to speak, Discord made for the door, slamming it, and run down the stairs and out the house. As Discord went, he was heard by Zechariah to mumble under his breath, "I'm going to kill Princess Celestia, this is all her fault because of the wretched element of chaos." End of Book 2. Follow the further adventures in FlutterCord 3, The Element of Chaos.